The human mind is a very interesting matter that differentiates us from other animals. You versus a gorilla. The chances of you surviving is zero. But what if you were given 3 hours to prepare? All of a sudden, your chances of winning is high. You'll not only survive, you'll probably win the fight. Buy a machine gun, get some grenade, put on some armor. There are many different ways to kill a gorilla, right? So does that mean you should always prepare when trying to do something difficult and uncomfortable? When you're deciding whether or not to do something, especially something that is challenging and you've never done it before, or the outcome is unexpected, your mind will instantly resort to, I need to prepare first. Your mind is built for survival to anticipate threats. So from an evolutionary standpoint, preparation gives you the best chance of survival because humans have evolved this way. Back then, humans used to sharpen their swords and spear, gather hunters to prepare for a big hunt, store and preserve food for the upcoming winter, and gather 99 other men when fighting a gorilla. All sorts of survival habits. There's a quote by Dr. Jeff Hawkins on his Thousands Brains theory on intelligence. To survive, we must anticipate. The brain evolved primarily to predict. The human mind predicts potential outcomes, and prepared individuals made less life-ending mistakes than those who aren't. So preparation is good, right? Well, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, my answer is going to be yes and no. Let me explain. Preparation is a necessary trait, but the majority of the people resorts to inaction, thinking they need to prepare for a situation which isn't even guaranteed to happen. Back then, the only real threat was death. But nowadays, since we don't live in the caveman days anymore, the real threat is embarrassment, humiliation, and failure, which isn't really that big of a deal when you compare it with you might die. I think embarrassment, humiliation, and failure is what most people are afraid of. It's what prevents them from taking action in the first place. I've been thinking about content creation even when I was 15. But because I thought I wasn't ready, that I'm not good enough like the rest of the creators on YouTube, and I don't know what type of videos to make, and I don't want to make the mistake of putting myself out there and making a fool of myself, I thought if I can just wait when I'm ready, wait when I'm experienced enough, wait when I can articulate a little bit better, then I'll finally be good enough to create content, creating the perfect video. But this is what I've learned from life in general, is that if you want to be good at something, you have to practice said thing. If you want to be good at bench press, you can't only do push-ups. If you want to be good at public speaking, only watching TED Talks won't really help that much. And if you want to be good at content creation, just practice creating content. Because before you actually get good at creating content, nobody's gonna watch your first few videos anyway. It's like playing a video game. If your goal was to slay the dragon and the game gave you infinite amount of lives, then you should practice slaying the dragon. You should practice fighting the dragon on and back and forth until you beat it. But if you just waste your infinite amount of lives on doing side quests and expecting that you're gonna beat the dragon one day, it will never happen. Waiting feels safe. Waiting for things to get better will never happen. Things will only get better if you make it better. I'll give you an example. You're contemplating on whether or not to ask a girl for her phone number in public. You might think that she's out of your league, thinking that you're not good enough for her, thinking that she might have so many other guys hitting her up that you don't deserve her. What if she said no and that looks stupid, and you're looking around trying to figure out if she has a boyfriend or not, and by the time you're done analyzing, she left, she's gone, and you'll probably never see her again. Not every situation, not every opportunity gives you time to prepare. Especially if you're new to something and it's your first time doing it, the best way to progress is to complete it and perfect it later. Stop thinking about perfecting things. Stop thinking about perfecting it now. Stop thinking about the first step being the perfect step. I missed so many great opportunities in life because I think that I wasn't ready. I think that my future self will handle this better. So I waited for him. When faced with a difficult decision, I stop and think. I thought I was preparing, but in reality, I was just wasting time. I want to delay my decision-making process because I wasn't good enough. I passed on so many shots that I could have taken because I wanted them all to score. I thought by waiting I'm progressing because I'm working on myself to get better every single day, which is great if I'm genuinely working, if I'm progressing at all. But the thing is, opportunities that you passed on at the moment because you think you're not good enough and you need more time to prepare, they're gone forever. They're not guaranteed to knock on your door once again after you ignore them. That girl will never know who you are. That great video idea that you didn't pursue, it dissipates into nothing. That business idea that kept you awake at night becomes a regret that bites you every moment you're alone. It's very important to be able to distinguish if you're actually preparing or are you simply making an excuse and avoiding the discomfort. Because the real discomfort isn't knowing that you did it wrong, but knowing that you didn't do it at all. If you've been avoiding it all your life, then you will make it harder than it looks. Because your mind thinks it's normal to just set it aside, and you get used to that. Preparation can be procrastination in disguise. Self-sabotage often wears the mask of discipline, and it creeps in your subconscious when you're not aware. I think what prevents most people from doing things is because they think people will judge them and laugh at them if they made a mistake. It'll be such an embarrassment for them to fathom. But most people are glued to their phone. They don't care. They worry too much about preserving their self-image in public than looking at you and see if you have your shirt worn inside out or not. I used to think like this all the time, and it's this very strong imposter syndrome that judges me from taking action, because I think everything I do has to be perfectly accepted by the public. Otherwise, I become the clown, the laughing stock, the next meme. I thought there are many great creators out there and I'll never be like them. And it's this fear of inadequacy that paralyzes potential. I never really found what makes me unique and advantageous because I used to believe that everything must be done in a certain way. Even starting this YouTube channel took me 7 months of thinking, analysis, and research, and this internal battle of me trying to perfect everything. Commitment issues, trying to put my best foot forward, trying to provide value while also trying to not look like a fool. Trying not to waste your time, the viewer, when you click on this video. Which is great, but it took longer than needed, and analysis paralysis is real. I try to plan my future when I don't have all the necessary pieces. I care too much about what other people think when they couldn't care less if I live or die. I'm not sure if this content creation path is gonna work and if I'm wasting my time putting in all this time and effort, because in a traditional job, you work hard for the day and you get paid for the day right away, which is such an unusual concept to apply in content creation. Because if what they're saying is true, according to my research, then it's normal to not see any results in the beginning, even if you worked hard. But I want to put myself in a situation where my back is against the wall, and I see this as the only way out, and I'm going to make this work. To put this into perspective, the next time you see that attractive girl at the mall, just think of a pickup line and send it. When you think of an idea that's valuable, put it in a video and put it out there. Even if you're preparing for a better outcome in the process of building your better future self, you should still act when opportunities present itself, because opportunities doesn't wait. And you'll get good at identifying them and acting on them. It's about forming the habit of taking action and doing it when you're not ready and uncertain of the outcome. Don't ever pay the opportunity cost with your time. I hope you can relate to some of the points in this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I wish you the best on your journey to success.